Joseph Murphy, the man who wrote the most famous book ever written about the subconscious mind, never once prayed for money. Not when he was broke. Not when his work was unknown and his rooms were empty. Never. And it wasn't because he thought prayer was weak. It was because he understood something about prayer that almost nobody understands. Something that explains why millions of people pray for money every single night and wake up just as poor as the night before. Your prayers are being answered. That's the part nobody tells you. Every prayer you have ever prayed has been answered with perfect precision. Just not the prayer your lips were saying, the prayer underneath it. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly what that underneath prayer is, why it has been quietly keeping you poor, and what Murphy did instead. A practice so different from ordinary praying that he barely called it prayer at all. Here is what I'm going to show you. First, the mechanism, why the words you pray are not the prayer that gets received, and what actually is. Then, where Murphy said this openly, in his own books, in plain language most readers rush straight past. And then the practice itself, exactly what to do tonight instead of asking, including the one small step at the end that most people skip, and that Murphy considered the whole secret. Stay with me, even if you have prayed for decades and can't imagine praying differently, especially then. Stay with me if you're skeptical of anything that sounds spiritual, because there is nothing mystical about what I'm going to describe. It is closer to mechanics than to religion. And stay with me if you think you've heard the manifestation talk before, because this is the part the manifestation talk left out, the part it was copied from and then watered down. Because here is what it's costing you not to know this. Every night that you lie there and ask for money while feeling the weight of not having it, you are not neutral. You are practicing. You are rehearsing with real feeling. And feeling is the only language your deeper mind reads, the identity of a person who lacks. One night of that is nothing. But you haven't done it one night. You've done it for years. Years of sincere, heartfelt, kneeling repetition of the one message you never meant to send: I am someone who does not have. And the part of you that builds your life, your habits, your choices, what you notice, what you dare, what you settle for, has been receiving that message faithfully the entire time and building you a life to match it. That should bother you, not because you did something wrong. You did what you were taught. It should bother you because nobody told you, and every year it stays untold is another year spent asking for water while standing on the hose. Now let me show you the mechanism, and I'll keep it as plain as Murphy kept it. You do not have one mind. You have two, or more precisely, one mind with two functions. The conscious mind chooses, reasons, and speaks. The subconscious mind builds. It does not reason. It does not argue, and this is the hinge everything turns on. It does not hear words. It receives states, feelings. Whatever you feel to be true, with repetition, it accepts as an order and sets about making real, through your body, your behavior, and the quiet steering of your attention towards some opportunities and away from others. Murphy called this the law of belief. It is never the thing believed in that answers. It is belief itself, the feeling impressed, that gets expressed. Now watch what ordinary prayer does inside that law. The lips say, "Give me money," but the state underneath the words, the thing actually being impressed, is need, lack, the felt certainty of not having. So the subconscious, which cannot hear the request and can only receive the state, takes its order. This person is one who lacks. And it obeys, perfectly. That is why Murphy said the answer to prayer comes not from the words but from the mental attitude behind them, and why praying harder, with more desperation, actually makes it worse. Desperation is a stronger feeling. It impresses deeper. The most fervent beggar makes the deepest imprint of poverty. Let me make this even more concrete, because once you see it, you can never unsee it. At any moment, there are two versions of you that your prayer can be spoken from. There is the version who doesn't have the money, anxious, tight-chested, watching the account, bracing at the mailbox. And there is the version for whom the wish is already fulfilled, settled, unhurried, quietly certain. Same person, same room, same words even. The only question that matters, the only one your subconscious ever asks, is which version is doing the feeling while the words are said. Because whichever version you pray from is the version that gets reinforced. Pray from the poor one, and you deepen the poor one, you carve his groove another fraction wider, and tomorrow it is a fraction easier to feel poor and a fraction harder not to. This is why so many sincere people are trapped in a loop they can't name. The more it hurts, the harder they pray. The harder they pray from the hurt, the deeper the hurt is impressed. And the deeper it's impressed, the more their outer life confirms it, which hurts more. The loop is airtight, and no amount of sincerity breaks it, because sincerity was never the missing piece. The missing piece is position, not what you say, where you stand inside yourself while you say it. And this is exactly why Murphy never prayed for money. Not because money was beneath prayer, because asking is the wrong instrument entirely. You cannot ask your own deeper mind for anything, any more than soil can be begged for a harvest. Soil takes seed. The subconscious takes states. So Murphy did something else, and he described it in the plainest possible words in The Power of Your Subconscious Mind, published in 1963, the book that made him famous. Words most readers slide over because they sound like a figure of speech. He wrote that prayer, real prayer, is the sustained feeling of the wish fulfilled. Read that again. Not asking, not pleading, the feeling, held, sustained, of the wish already granted. He taught his students to go to the end, to feel now what they would feel if the thing were already done, and to fall asleep in that state, because in the drowsy minutes before sleep, the door to the deeper mind stands widest open. That was his entire practice. He did not petition, he assumed. He impressed the finished state and let the deeper mind do what it always does, make the outer match the inner. So why were you never taught this? Honestly, not through any conspiracy. This understanding runs like a quiet thread through very old teachings. Even Scripture says it plainly. In Mark 11:24, when you pray, believe that you have received, and you shall receive. Have received, past tense, the finished state. But somewhere along the way, the instruction got simplified into petition, because petition is easier to teach a crowd. Then the modern self-help industry found the old thread, cut off the mechanism, and sold the surface. Say affirmations, think positive. Words without the state, which is precisely the half that doesn't work. And underneath all of it sits a quieter reason. A person who knows how to impress their own deeper mind needs no middleman. There has never been much profit in teaching people the version that requires nothing but themselves and a bed. So it stayed where Murphy found it, in old books, read slowly, by few. If something in the last few minutes landed for you, if you just recognized your own nights in what I described, pause and write it in the comments, in your own words. There are people who will read your comment and understand it from you in a way they couldn't from me. And now stay here, because knowing why is nothing without knowing how, and the how takes 3 minutes a night. Now, before I give you the practice, let me answer the objection that's probably already forming, because it's the honest one, and it deserves an honest answer. Isn't feeling the wish fulfilled before it's real just? Pretending? Lying to yourself? Here is Murphy's answer, and it holds up. Your subconscious does not deal in facts, it deals in impressions. It is not a courtroom weighing evidence, it is soil receiving seed, and it has been receiving seed your whole life without ever once checking whether the seed was factually justified. Every night you felt poor, was that a lie? The bills were real, yes, but the feeling of I am someone who lacks was not a fact, it was an interpretation, one identity chosen out of many, impressed so many times it started to feel like the truth instead of a habit. You have been doing this practice your entire life. You've just been doing it in one direction only, and calling it realism. Feeling the end fulfilled is not lying, it is choosing, for the first time deliberately, which state gets planted. The farmer who plants wheat in empty soil is not lying to the field about wheat. He is putting in what he intends to take out. Here is what you do instead tonight. First, before bed, decide what the fulfilled wish actually looks like. Not a number, a scene. One small, believable moment that could only exist if the money were already handled. You, at your table, looking at your accounts, calm. The bill paid and set down without a flinch. Choose one scene and keep the same one every night. Second, when you're lying in bed and the drowsiness starts to come, that heavy, drifting state, Murphy was emphatic that this is the hour. Enter the scene, not watching yourself like a movie. Inside it, through your own eyes. See the table, feel the chair, and let the feeling rise, the relief, the quiet, the it-is-handled ease of the person for whom this is simply true. You are not forcing belief. You are borrowing, for 1 minute, the inner state of the version of you whose wish is fulfilled, and one honestly felt minute is enough. Third, and this is the step almost everyone skips, the one Murphy considered the secret, now pray. From inside that state, not asking, thanking. A few words of simple gratitude, as a person gives thanks for what they already have. Thank you for this. That's the whole reversal. The old way asked from lack and impressed lack. This way gives thanks from fulfillment and impresses fulfillment. Because gratitude is the one feeling that cannot coexist with begging. You only thank for what is already yours. Then release it. No checking, no repeating it 50 times, no watching the mail. You planted, let the soil work, and do it again tomorrow night. The same scene, the same feeling, the same thanks. Nightly, briefly, until it's as automatic as turning off the light. 2 more things about the practice, because they're where beginners fall. Some nights the feeling won't come. You'll enter the scene and it stays cardboard, and the worry keeps shouldering in. Don't force it. Forcing is just begging with clenched teeth, and it impresses the strain, not the wish. Instead, take the side door. Remember any real moment from your life when you genuinely felt provided for. A childhood evening, a paid-off debt, one good summer day. And let that remembered feeling come first, because it comes easier. It has been felt before. Then carry it, still warm, into your scene, and give thanks from there. And on the nights when even that fails, say the thanks anyway, once, quietly, without the feeling, as a keeping of the appointment. A flat night doesn't break the work. Only quitting breaks it. The other thing, expect nothing visible for a while, on purpose. You are not doing this to make Thursday's mail different. You're doing it to change which version of you is being rehearsed. And that change shows up first in places nobody watches. How you sleep, what your first thought is in the morning, which sentences stop coming out of your mouth. Watch those. They are the receipt. Murphy's books are full of people who made exactly this reversal, and the pattern is always the same. So let me give it to you honestly, the way it actually goes, because it does not go like a lightning strike. A man prays this new way for a week, and the first thing that changes is not his bank account, it's his sleep. Then his mornings. He notices the dread isn't the first thing waiting for him. Then his mouth, the "I can't afford it" sentences quietly stop. Then, only then, the outer things begin. An idea that seems obvious in hindsight. A conversation he'd have been too defeated to pursue a month earlier. An opportunity that was always there but invisible to a mind rehearsing lack. From the outside, it looks like luck arriving. From the inside, it's simpler than that. The person changed, and the circumstances followed the person. That is the only way it ever works. Inner first, outer after. And anyone who promises you the reverse is selling something. And notice what this means about the years behind you. They were not proof that prayer fails. They were proof that it works, flawlessly, in whichever direction it is aimed. The same faithfulness of mind that built the lack will build the fulfillment, with the same precision, the moment you change what you handed each night. Nothing about you is broken. Nothing needs to be earned. The instrument was perfect all along. Only the aim was never shown to you. So here is the whole teaching in one line, and it's the line I want you to carry to bed tonight. Stop praying from the poor version of you, and start praying from the version whose prayer is already answered. Same bed, same closed eyes, opposite direction. The knowledge was always there. In a book from 1963, in a verse 2,000 years old, you were simply never handed it. And if you're the kind of person who has quietly suspected that the most important instructions got lost somewhere between the old books and the modern noise, then you already understand what this channel is for. Before you go, write in the comments which city you're watching from tonight, and whether something in this video showed you your own praying in a new light. And take a minute to scroll through what others have written, because some of the most honest things on this channel are down there, and one of them might be exactly what you needed to read. If this video genuinely gave you something, a like and a subscribe help more people find it, but only if it truly did. I don't ask for more than that. And don't leave yet, because what's coming next goes even deeper than what we did today. The video appearing on your screen right now picks up exactly where this one ends, and it's the kind of knowledge that tends not to stay easy to find. Watch it while it is still in front of you. I will meet you there tonight, and we'll take the next step together.